What's up guys? Today's video is on the top 5 best all-terrain truck tire on the market today. Through extensive research and testing, I have put together a list of options that will meet the needs of different types of buyers. So whether it's price, performance or its particular use, we have got you covered. For more information on the products, I have included links in the description box down below which are updated for the best prices. Like the video, comment and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. In our list, the number 5 product name is Falken Wildpeak A T3W Radial tire. All-terrain, any weather rugged capability. Rim width range -7.5, 9.5. Heat diffuser technology in the lower sidewall dissipates heat to protect the internal tire components. Keeping this critical area of the tire cool ensures vehicle stability even when towing or carrying heavy loads. 3D Canyon Sipe technology interlocks the shoulders to resist wear from high torque, as well as providing additional handling stability. Rugged and rigid tread blocks feature support ramps and step-down features that by tread pattern rigidity in the contact rigidity, enhancing vehicle stability and handling, while also preventing stones from becoming trapped in the grooves. Aggressive upper sidewall along with offset shoulder blocks protect the tire from sharp rocks and provide additional off-road traction at low tire pressures or in off-camber situations. The Wildpeak A T3W is engineered for adventure, anytime and any weather. The T3W combines aggressive off-road ability and rugged terrain driving without compromise on the pavement. An optimized tread design combined with a silica tread compound enable the AT3W excel in 3 areas: wear, winter, and wet performance. Designed for severe snow conditions, every AT3W tire is qualified by the Rubber Manufacturers Association for the 3-peak mountain snowflake 3 PM symbol. The AT3W is packed with technology, from Falken's patented 3D Canyon sipes to an all-new proprietary lower sidewall. Full-depth sipes and grooves maintain consistent performance and appearance throughout the life of the tire. In our list, the number 4 product name is Falken Wildpeak A. Falken Wildpeak A is a powerful assistant on off-road terrains. The tire model introduces silica-enriched, layered compounds symmetrically molded to enhance durability over varied conditions and temperatures. Supported by the littering of open shoulders, circumferential grooves, and independent blocks with edges and notches. At the same time, punctures from sticks and rocks were countered with over-shoulder ribs and rugged upper sidewall constructions. We also appreciated the 3D interlock sipes below the rubber, offering biting edges that more than suffice through dirt and snow plowing. Our full-size sub grip the wet, sticky off-road dirt in almost the same manner on road dry roads. Accelerations from our starting point of 40 mph towards 55 had to be done a bit strategically in the first 5 minutes or so, but grew more and more effortless the longer we rode, eventually bracing the road patterns as if they were long-lost friends. Performances on rock terrains were accompanied by more bumps and side shakes due to their rugged nature, but remained composed nonetheless. Falken Wildpeak A breezed through the gap between rocks with little drama and held its ground when texture and lane changes occurred within short notice. Sharper rocks dented closely into the rubber did produce a worrying thud sound that had us get off the car to check, but turned out that was a false alarm. After that, our car trampled on them as if nothing happened. The 3D Canyon sipes surely did their intended jobs in redirecting sand. while some of the softer and trickier particles still got in. They were not powerful enough to stall the car or create a heavy dragging feel at our contact patch. And mud performance was only a small tad behind sand, calling for a bit of consistent push and pull to get the car out of rough patches. But it was likely the only significant drawback worth mentioning. Highway performance didn't lose its spotlight as well, allowing us to rev up to 75 mph with minimal road noise, even less than the Pinza 8 at N or Dot 1 that blended into the wind's howl. And after our test in scorching summer days June-July and below zero winter days, tread wear was far from the biggest issue. However, we love to see a slight increase in corner stability when dealing with consecutive ascents-descents on mountain passes. In our list, the number 3 product name is Cooper Discoverer AT3. While other standard tires performed extremely well in certain weather and became less confident in others, Cooper Discoverer AT3 settled beginner worries with relatively similar performances across all types of temperature extreme weather conditions. The tire utilizes silica-based compounds with 5 rib designs, engineered to offer dry and wet capabilities. Its aquava, circumferential channels, and lateral notches promise good water evacuation, while the micro-zigzag sides deliver more biting edges and tread block footings. Better yet, we also appreciated the unique sawtooth edges snow groove tech, which is supposed to cater to snow traction but worked extremely well in other conditions like summers, too. With its incredible temperature adaptability, Cooper Discoverer AT3 did not bolt back when touching hot asphalts the same way other tires did, taking less than 5 seconds to establish its anchor and carrying us at an uneventful speed surge of 40 to 55 mph. Though our car witnessed a 1 to 2 mpg drop in gas mileage, we considered this a trade-off for the excellent tread life, as we noticed no signs of overheating on searing highways. The way Cooper Discoverer AT3 retained its grip when we transitioned from hot to cold asphalts post-rain, long puddle patches, or mid-downfalls was also amazing. Changes in the rubber flexes were hard to notice, not stripping off much cornering grip, even when we entered the entries a bit more abruptly than expected. Hydroplaning did occur a bit more frequently as the water deepened beyond 5 inches, but nothing truly dangerous compared to the grand scheme of things. Cold snow or harsh snowstorms on highways were not much of a challenge, either further cementing AT3 as an all-weather tire. The snow groove shined with all its maximum capability and curved entirely onto the road patterns without needing snow chains. Except for lack of visibility typical of any storm, we barely experienced any real driving compromise, treading forward just like how we did in on-road wet. Regardless of terrain and weather, riding comfort remained a great delight. We ground through bumps and cracks with little difficulty and only sensed a faint sense of panic jostles when handling slightly larger road imperfections under construction. Road noises were also tolerable, minus some low rumbling thankfully swallowed by the crosswinds as we revived nearer to 60 mph. In our list, the number 2 product name is Continental TerrainContact A, T. Most on-road AT tires are satisfying in dry-wet traction on highways, but Continental TerrainContact A, T is the most confident and consistent of them all. The tire introduces sealant compounds molded in open patterns to offer more stability, while the closed shoulders and tread blocks promise less uneven wear. Plus, with edge block grooves and deep sipes to add to silent additives, all-season wet traction becomes a non-issue. Continental's advertisements translated well into our experimental endeavors on dry highways. Well-paved roads were an obvious given due to the stable blocks and shoulders, but even on very cracked sections with small bumps and crevices littered every few feet. Its bold confidence barely deterred. Brief, sudden jostles were tackled well thanks to the flat, wide contact patch that reached all over to palm out the road. Hence our non-dramatic fluctuations between 30 and 55 mph even at low radius corners. Better yet, most of these stable footings continued to carry themselves into waterlogged patches. Driftings did happen, but mostly because of the terrain's slippery nature more than anything else, and it was not like they were frequent. Our bold start at 45 mph in deep water beyond 5 inches was delightfully sturdy given consistent turns of the steering wheels and at tight, wet crooks. Our team even managed to choke a bit of extra traction out of the tire by maximizing the entire tire width to stabilize corner entries. And aside from the generally satisfying riding comfort, our team members were all impressed by how Continental TerrainContact A handled road noises, even on freeways. Though the brand did not mention any particular technology in noise reduction, we believe the open pattern and edge block grooves played a role in cutting through air pockets to reduce whining sounds, resulting in a generally noiseless ride except for minor squeaking at sweeping curves. On another note, off-road terrains and snow surfaces did not seem like TerrainContact's best assets, especially on deep snow, ice and mud. Tread carefully if you plan to use the tires in spirited driving under such conditions. In our list, the number 1 product name is BFGoodrich Trail-Terrain T. BFGoodrich Trail-Terrain T A is just the right tire option for non-aggressive, light off-road driving, reserved for combined off-road and highways with about 80% highways. Included in the package are the advanced, chip-resistant compounds to handle damage in gravel, along with optimized footprints to even out pressure distribution and closed shoulders that swallow airborne noise. Extra biting edges are offered in the form of ample voice spaces for inboard elements, while the deep 3D sipes generate traction for severe conditions on icy, wet, or off-road roads. Some of these features were admittedly too soft on very hard, rough terrains, but worked just fine for lighter off-road surfaces. BFGoodrich Trail-Terrain made friends quickly with the soft gravel dirt along the way, taking no more than 5 seconds to establish anchor points and proper setups for the contact patch to catch up with our steering. Once we found our grounds and learned all the crooks and corners of these textured roads, there was hardly any noticeable difference between light dirt and asphalts. Given no twisties or unseen roadblocks, even abrupt acceleration straight to 55 mph in 5 seconds were possible. We also had very little difficulty with terrains of smaller, fewer rocks. Trail-Terrain T held enough in itself to traverse through rugged patches at regular, normal speeds and did not seem to face as much trouble as we thought diving into corners. Soft, thin sand was likewise smooth and did not require much steering force to stay on land, except for off-camber bends, where we needed more consistent decelerations to keep small particles from entering the high sidewalls angles. On light mud, BFGoodrich Trail-Terrain exhibited a few occasional symptoms of hiccups in the first few miles. Fortunately, they were less pronounced as the contact patch grew more comfortable around the sticky muddles over time and stopped shuddering when faced with sudden cold water. Being back to dry highway asphalts from our light off-road adventures was like a fish back to water. BFGoodrich Trail-Terrain almost flew over the road with hardly any significant delays. Unfortunately, we could not see the same aggressive boldness in on-road wet traction. The fact that it was even less impressive than the tire snow traction said something.